What's up guys, EvanNova95 here, and today I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of people have already talked about already, but you know what, I want to talk about it too. So, as you guys might have heard, Lucasarts has been bought by Disney for $4 billion. $4 billion, and because of this, Disney has officially announced that Star Wars Episode VII is in the works and supposedly going to be released in 2015. Episode 7. Can you believe it? I never thought I would ever say that. Now, before I get my opinions on that, let me just talk to you about my opinion on Star Wars in general. I love this franchise. I've loved it since I was a little kid, and I'm still a big fan of it now. Phantom Menace was actually the first movie I ever saw in theaters. First movie ever. I was 4 years old at the time. My mind was blown. And I've been hooked on this franchise ever since. I mean, look, I got the Blu-rays, Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3, Episode 4, Episode 5, I dropped that, and Episode 6. Not only that, but I even have the original VHS box set collection. These were originally my dad's, and he gave them to me a long time ago. These things are like my prized possessions. They still work, and they're still a lot of fun to watch. So, I think you guys could tell I'm a huge fan of this franchise. I've followed it my entire life, and it's by far one of my favorite movie franchises ever. And it's just something I hold close to me. I mean, seriously, I'm just crazy about this. I mean, look, this bookshelf right here, full of Star Wars books. Well, it's not all it has, but seriously, Star Wars books. Almost the entire thing. I'm sure you can see right there. I don't know if you can, but I have like a holocron right there. I'm that freaking crazy about it. So, Lucas has stated that he is going to be watching over the production, but he's not going to have total control about it. And I'm really, really excited, but on the other hand, I'm really kind of nervous. Like, on one hand, I'm all like, finally! A new Star Wars movie! At last! On the other hand, I'm kind of like, a Star Wars movie in 2015 without George Lucas. Now, I know a lot of people, don't like George Lucas for the prequel saga. I personally love him for it because, just to clarify, I love all 6 movies. I mean, some I like more than others, of course, but I don't think any of them are downright horrible. I'm probably gonna get a lot of crap for saying this, but I like Phantom Menace. I like Attack of the Clones. I fucking love Revenge of the Sith. I mean, I've never had problems with it. A few of my friends who also do movie-related things or just are really into movies, some of them don't like them at all, and hey, I don't mind, hey, if you guys don't like them either, that's fine, I don't care. But hey, that's just my opinion. What are you gonna do? We don't know anything about the plot yet. There's no trailers, no pictures, no anything, which is understandable considering how many years away it is. But let me just talk about it a little first. You see, as I think we all know, when Return of the Jedi ended, it left a lot of things unopened. As far as if you're just going by the movies, there are things left unopened. Like, what happens to the New Republic? How does Luke start a new Jedi Order? What about the remaining Empire? How does Palpatine's grip on the galaxy just fully get unraveled? Whatever happened to Boba Fett? Now, a lot of people do know the answers to this, but some people who just follow the movies and are just casual fans don't. So, I'm wondering, are they going to be catering to the hardcore fan base who knows what's going on, or are they going to go to a broader perspective and basically retell stories that have been stated that show you what's going on? Like, you see, after Return of the Jedi, we kind of already had several sequels in the forms of comic books and novels. A good example being Dark Empire. This takes place just only a few years after Return of the Jedi and details Luke's becoming more understanding in the ways of the Force, Leia becoming more understanding in the way of the Force, starting a new Jedi Order, what's left of the Empire, Han and Leia's kids, spoilers, and several other things I won't spoil. But just a shout out, you should totally read these. They're really good reads. They're comic books. And I highly recommend these. I'm going to do a review of these sometime, but, just a little tidbit for the future. Just check these out. Also, we've even had stories that go much further in that. We've had the video games, Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy. I follow the stories of Kal Katarn and core, both of which who are part of Luke's new Jedi Order, and it takes place, I'd say, roughly. If anyone knows the exact timeline, please tell me, because I'm a little rusty. I used to know, but it's been a while since I've played these. Great games, by the way. I want to say these take place roughly 15 years. I'm going to go ahead and say like 15 years after Return of the Jedi. Maybe not quite that much, maybe a little more. If anyone knows the exact date, please tell me. Hell, we've even had stories that go like over 100 years in the future. Star Wars Legacy, for example, follows Luke's ancestors and the new Jedi Order just going through some hell with the Sith. This is also very, very good. I highly recommend people to read this. So that's what I'm wondering if they're going to do. My guess is that they're going to try and appeal to the hardcore fan base because, most people who really like Star Wars are so intrigued by it that they go into this expanded universe and talk about it. Now, I know a lot of people really liked the trailers that they had for when the game Old Republic came out, and a lot of people were saying that the movie should look like that. I personally don't know if they should go that route. You see, I'm not an Old Republic fan. I know a lot of Star Wars fans are going to give me crap for that, but I'm just not an Old Republic fan. I mean, I don't like the story very much, and I don't like the characters too much. I'm more of a Tales of the Jedi kind of guy. Take place like thousands of years before. Has great characters. These are just another quick tidbit. These are some of the greatest comic books I think ever written. Not just Star Wars, but just ever. And this is what I'm a fan of as far as Old Republic stories go. I'm not a big fan of those games. I don't really like the gameplay, and I don't really like the characters very much. It's mostly the story that just bugs me. Back to the movie. What I am really curious about is the groundwork for this movie, I know for a fact, is already pretty much done. They have the comics and the stories to work with, plus I've heard rumors that Lucas actually wrote the basic screenplays for them a long time ago, like after Return of the Jedi. He was actually intending it to be like a 9-movie series, but time weighs heavily on the human body, so he couldn't do it. But what I'm wondering is how they're going to do it. Is it going to be like the 2003 animated shorts they did? Or is it going to be like the Star Wars Clone Wars show that's on now? So that's what I'm wondering. I know it's not going to be animated. Well, I don't know if it's not going to be animated, but I don't think it will be. It would kind of stick out if you compare it to the rest, because it is a solid episode, not a spin-off. So I don't think it'll be animated. I think it'll be live action. What I'm wondering is what timeline they're going to do, because Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford are really old now. So my guess is that they're going to jump ahead maybe like 50, 40 years, which would make sense. And then have the story follow Ben Skywalker and Jaina Solo, Anakin Solo, Darth Caedus. That would be an awesome movie plotline. That story, if they base it off those books, oh my god. Legacy of the Force. If they base the movie off those books, that would be awesome. I know they probably won't, but that would be a cool thing, because it would be a good way to have the old actors be there while still being old, and they'd be able to bring new cast members in to fill the shoes of the younger characters. That would make total sense. So that's what I think they're going to do. Maybe they'll jump ahead even further than that. Maybe we'll get Star Wars Legacy the movie. I highly doubt that, but that would still be cool. But what I'm worried about is, if Lucas isn't there, I'm worried that the new director, new producers, the new writers are not going to put it in a way that would really stack up to the rest of the movies. Because this is a really hard legacy to live up to. And I just don't know if any other writers could really get that same feel, that same Star Wars feel that the other movies had.